青春之声跨越国界，共话未来。
Let us use the voice of youth.
Cross national borders and talk about the future together.
When I went to China, I saw, oh, so actually, that's how people study for real.
So the forums provide a platform to let people know about each other.
And Zibo Shaoko.
What, where?
Zibo Shaoko.
Oh, Zibo Shaokao.
Barbecue of Zibo.
Yeah, in Shandong province, East China. So as a member of the Z generation, you will have always been committed to participating in cultural exchange activities. And you have many opportunities to exchange ideas with young people with international perspectives. And at the same time, you have repeatedly represented Sino-French cultural exchanges in public and share your forward-thinking ideas. And so, as a participant in the Youth Power program created by China Daily, you gathered with Z generation youth from around the world, online and offline media integration in China. Did you gain anything from that program? Was there any Z generation youth that made you a deep impression?
Well, first I would say, sure, I'm first generation of Z generation, like the first batch of it,
Yeah.
96.
Mm-hmm.
So Generation Z from, sorry, the Z generation is from 95.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the kind of the first people that will experience our modern world. So when people say I'm a yos, I'm kind of getting old right now already. Yesterday my classmate told me, I can't believe Gen Z is almost getting 30. I was like, oh, that's so hurtful. But anyway, as a participant of the YOSPOR, actually I made a lot of friends and I was impressed by a lot of them. For example, I met Trude from Tsinghua, that is now a PhD in international relations. That's the person that advised me to go to the program in Tsinghua.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so amazing. She could speak like perfect French. She could speak her local language. She could speak English because she studied in English in England too. She speaks so many languages, and she was even Korean because she studied in Korea. Now she's in China. Like so many so smart people, you know. But I guess it's normal because when you're abroad, especially in China, China wants to welcome smart people. So if you meet young people in China, mostly they will be always smart, and I will be always impressed by them. And also, we are talking about international people in YOSPOR, but there are also a lot of Chinese talent from the Generation Z, and these are the ones that impress me the most. Chinese people, especially the Gen Z, are so smart, but not smart. Also, they are so paying a lot of effort. When I mean effort is that they are committing a lot of effort to anything in life. Because there's a lot of competition in China, right? I never saw that competition in France before. When I was in high school, I didn't have that hard competition all the time. You know, I was just doing my studies and I just studied the minimum. And when I went to China, I saw, oh, so actually that's how people study for real. Like you have to commit yourself a lot, and you're always working. And it's actually a lot of positive advantages. It's a lot of positive things to say about this. It's because you will learn a lot of things and you will be so smart. But a lot of negative thoughts too about this is my friend was a teacher at my school when I was in Tianjin. And he noticed that the Chinese people will just learn the lesson by heart. They will just know everything about the lesson. And then he asked some questions that was not in the lesson, because it's linked to it. You know, it's IT, so you always have some knowledge. You have going a deep further or a deep different. And they didn't know how to answer that because it was not in the lesson. But the French students, they were struggling to just recite the lesson by heart, but they knew the main points and the key points. And when you ask a question, they will use critical thinking to diverge from the lesson, to think about it. So I think when you think about the way of studying of Chinese people and the way of studying of French people, you should take a mix of both. Yes.
Both solid knowledge base and also logic thinking.
Yes, logic thinking and logic knowledge. So French people are lazy.
No,
and Chinese people
yeah.
are very hardworking. You should be hardworking and thinking critically. I was joking, by the way. Not lazy, but yes. And yeah, for example, I've met yeah, when I was in Taizhou, I met a translator from English to Chinese. Perfect English, perfect. Like I will give him 119 point out of 120 in TOEFL.
A Chinese guy?
Yeah, Chinese person.
Like
From
40 years
Shanghai?
old? From
No,
Shanghai?
No, he's like my age, I think.
Okay.
27 or 8.
Okay.
Gen Z. And he suddenly talked to me in perfect French. I was like, why? Literally, this question, why do you speak French? And my friend was laughing, like, why you ask him this question? And he said, oh, because I learned by myself. I was like, you learn by yourself? Really? You know, so much commitment to that. I was like, okay, so you're amazing, yes. Just so smart. Not smart, hardworking. And smart, but that's another point, yeah.
Yeah. So recently you participated in the Global Civilization Initiative International Youth Lecture and shared the topic of the charm of European civilization. So how was the response? Can you share with us again what you saw and heard?
Oh, this was in the forum this summer, right? Yes. To be honest, I like that forum. They had a lot of nice speeches, especially the one about porcelain. I don't know how to say that already. Let me check. Porcelain in Chinese.
Porcelain?
Porcelain. Actually, it's also there was someone presenting this topic from a city in Jiangsu.
Ah, porcelain.
Yeah.
瓷器.
Yes, 瓷器. In English, it's also porcelain, actually.
Yeah.
That's why I was not sure about the name. A lot of knowledge I could learn, but actually my speech I didn't really like it because it was very basic. I was talking about Leonardo da Vinci, so I think everyone knows him, but I cannot go very deep in details because I just have 5 minutes, and I was just talking a bit about Europe, so it was nice, but I didn't bring much compared to other people, you know what I mean? Like Chinese people had such a deep topic and nice topics, and I was just talking about a little Europe. Okay, this is Europe, but everyone knows about it. I mean, I talked about Da Vinci, I talked about Picasso. You know Picasso? I think I talked about Dali. Do you know Dali? The one with a mustache.
Ah, I see.
He's actually living like next to my hometown.
Oh.
I mean, lived in the past. He died
Sure.
like not so long ago, like 50 years ago, I think. And his museum is very eccentric, like his personality. He's just 20 minutes by car from my hometown in Spain. So he's in Spain. And this museum, I visited quite a lot, and I bring my Chinese friends there. Like they came from Paris, because I was studying in Paris. So like I went to China in exchange, and they went to Paris back in exchange. And I bring them to my hometown, and then I drive them to this museum. And they were so happy to visit him because a lot of people don't even know he's here. His museum is here. They know him, but they don't know his museum. So yeah, European culture was nice, and I think this forum was interesting. Maybe I could have go in more details about Europe, something a little more niche. But I guess if I just talk about basic stuff, it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely fine. And what do you think is the significance of cultural exchange forum activities for international development in the current era? And is there a topic you would like to explore in the next similar event?
I think cultural exchange forum activities are very important for us because, you know, in France, we don't know much about China because we lack of this kind of forums. You know, it's a little sad to say, but you know, France is a lot of Americanized. We have a lot of knowledge from America, and America is close to Japan. So a lot of Eastern Asian knowledge we had in France before, I mean, like 20 years ago, was mostly from Japan.
I
We
see.
didn't know anything about China and Korea and Vietnam. No, Vietnam we knew because yeah, we are colonized Vietnam and a lot of Vietnamese people in France. And a lot of things I knew, I thought it was Japanese, but it was Chinese in fact. Like Zhang Shi, you know Zhang Shi, the zombie. The zombie like this from Hong Kong. with the- yeah.
Zombie.
I thought it was Japanese. I didn't know it was Chinese, for example.
You thought it was Japanese.
Yes, because we didn't. We had some animation.
So
from-
basically, you were putting all the Asian cultures on Japan
when they
20 years ago.
code that example is what French people do. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You got my point.
Mm-hmm.
And even still for the old people right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember my uncle sent me, oh look, Lana is dressed with a kimono. You're in China, it's nice, no? I was like, yes, sure. But don't worry, he knows now. And why we don't have this culture? Because we need to be more curious about Asia in general, and because we don't have exchange from activities in France. And we don't have this interest. While in China, I think thanks to this forum, a lot of people will discover our culture, and a lot of people know about our culture. I think it's a little unfair because they know about us, but I mean, when I say no, it means the population know a lot about France, but France doesn't know a lot about China. It's a bit like unfair, not to them, but like to the culture in general, cultural exchange.
So the forums provide a platform to let people know about each other.
Yes.
And I believe you are now doing the same thing through the, vlogger career on the social media, letting people in Europe and France know more about China.
Unfortunately, I tried to do a lot to do that for French people, and I started to share about Chinese culture in a positive way, but not always positive, just what I see. But a lot of people are skeptical because they're still in this media manipulation of Europe about China, and that's a problem because anything I will post, I will say, wow, the trend is so nice in China and the price is never getting high. We talked about this before, right? The price is always stable. And I say, oh, how much they pay you to say that? No, no. You know, I think like everything you say, you make it just because China tell you to say that.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just because like in the media, like you will see in the West, when you talk about China, it's either to say China bad or wow, China so much technology. That's all we know.
So here comes another serious question, serious topic. That most, positive sayings about China would be tagged propaganda in the Western world, especially Western media. And why do you think is that? And what kind of means can we take to, break this situation?
It's interesting you talk about that. Actually, I made a video, I think, for media, and it was about me talking about Suzhou to incite people to go there to visit. And when they posted that on Facebook, all the posts, because I posted in many accounts, is I was talking media affiliated with Chinese government. And I was like, it's kind of sad because it doesn't mean it's propaganda. It's like maybe like 20 or 30 years ago, the communication field in China was a lot of propaganda, but nowadays we are kind of free. It's internet. Even if we have the great firewall of China, what you find on social media are not always propaganda. The thing is, I guess they are like putting everything in the same well. So everything in the same bag. They think like everything you will see from China will be propaganda because it used to be like this. Not exactly, but there was a lot of things like this. So I think there is no way to change that. It will take times. But it's changing slowly by slowly. I know, for example, a French girl that is 18 and she got fond of China because of Chinese songs and singer. It's like so handsome, and she actually went to China to study thanks to this, and she studied China like in high school thanks to this. So the culture of China is slowly reaching Europe. Okay, so the media cannot stop it. I mean, the culture, just the normal culture of China. You cannot say it's propaganda. It's a song. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like a pop, like C-pop, Chinese pop. So you cannot say it's propaganda. So no one can make this feeling bad. And also drama. For example, Chinese drama are very nice too, and they also reach France. So the young people, the next generation is coming. The under 20 years old knows better about China. The next generation knows better about China, and slowly by slowly we will be strengthen our bonds, and we will share more culture, and there will less be people thinking it's always propaganda, because it's not all the time. Like I will say, mostly independent content that will be posted by let's say me, or like people living in China, will be normal content.
You have mentioned China's Belt and Road Initiative multiple times in cultural exchange activities. How do you understand this initiative, and how can the young generation of Z participate in the future construction of the Belt and Road?
Wow, that's a big topic.
Yeah, it is.
you know, I remember there was a PhD from a school that went to talk to me one day, because I wanted to know more about how I feel about Belt and Road Initiative, and I told them this answer. I think Belt and Road Initiative is so nice. The thing is, I feel like China is supporting 99% of that project. I saw the train that they built in Philippines, I think. Indonesia, I think. A bullet train they built for them. I was like, wow, amazing. It's very nice opportunity to share people. I saw there are a lot of students coming from South Asia or Africa, thanks to this program. France is not part of it. Italy was, but left. I think, you know why? It's because, as I said, China is supporting 99% of that project. And when there is tension in the world, such as Ukraine war, Russia, then I guess Italy got scared. I don't know what happened, but with all this tension, it's not always nice to join a group of this kind of project. And I told them, because they are experts in their PhD, they are researching about Belt and Road Initiative, right? I feel if they made like a Belt and Road Initiative 2 with new countries and new ideas, it would actually be so nice. And this time maybe be more international instead of from China, you know what I mean? And why? Actually, I don't have any problem with that. I think it's a very great initiative, but people in the world, because of this mentality I said before, about always having a bad thought about China, people will think it's a not bad project, but like it's a Chinese project. They will say, oh, it's a Chinese program, Belt and Road Initiative. It's not supposed to be a Chinese program. It's a project. Sorry, it's an international project that link a lot of countries together from the whole world, actually, like going from China to Asian seas and going back to Africa, going up to until Italy. No, not, but it should be something international that provide a lot of countries to go together. But people in NATO and the West are like, oh, it's a Chinese project, so we cannot join this. I guess, just a guess. I don't know. I'm not expert,
sure.
Right? But if there was a new Belt and Road Initiative and maybe more partnership with France, I don't think there will be. I think Macron is kind of friend with the Chinese government, right? He visited China like last year, 2 years ago, and he met the president few weeks ago in the forum. So there's a lot of things to develop about Belt and Road Initiative, and I think it needs to be renewed because it's already 11 years old. Yes, 2013. But there was a lot of achievement also. Let's not make a mistake here. It was a very nice project and it made achievements. But I think it can make renew.
More achievements. Make it a bigger project.
Like if you are in a video game, you release the second version. You can make a second version of Belt and Road Initiative. That's my point, yeah.